Dudes, what is going on? So today we have a, oh man, I love Lincolns. Lincolns are great. So this thing is a black label Navigator, which just pretty much I think has everything. Like it's like $100,000 truck. So we're gonna be doing ceramic on all the things, and we're gonna be making it pretty much as dark as we can. So we're gonna do 20% over the factory, which is gonna bring it down to limo. We're gonna do limo on the front doors, and then we're gonna do 35% on the front doors. So I am just getting some things set up. My headphones are currently charging a little bit. And let me set this up too. So grab all the things. Easy money. Actually, these things are pretty straightforward. It almost looks like they've got something on the windshield already. Not like aftermarket tint, but there's something with the windshield. It's a little bit of a different iridescent to it, which is pretty sweet. Max photo, max time lapse. No. Max video. So I got the max lens for this, and they just released an update. Hopefully, we're going to get some more stability. I need to ask you a question about your website and the rolls that you sell. Yeah, feel free to ask. It'd be easy to just ask right now. So basically what that means is it looks like it's kind of tilting right now, but I can literally turn this all the way around and it'll stay completely stable, which is super dope. What is going on? Okay, so what do I need? I need battery. Let's put a battery on this thing. We'll get the GoPro up and running. What color? What color is this? It's like a light baby blue. The silvering might be more from like the lighting right now, but yeah, it's definitely like baby blue. What's going on, T-Town? So, is it connected? Let's plug this in. I tested this out earlier. So this is a beta software for this. I bought this lens, this one right here. Look, it adds more to it. And you need this lens to do this 360 thing and still have everything in view. The roll says 35 by 100. Does that mean 35 inches by 100 feet? Yes. It'll be 36 by 100. Okay, there's that. That's good. Let me adjust something here. I was messing around with these earlier. I feel like, no, we'll leave it. We'll leave it for a little bit. That's fine. You're my boy. 100,000 for an SUV. I'd rather have a house. But in all fairness, you could live in this thing and drive it around. So it's like a motorhome. Have you done a 392 Wrangler? I've done plenty of Wranglers. I don't know if I've done the 392, but if I'm being honest, they're all the same. They're all the same to me. I mean, I might be a little bit more wowed when I turn it on, but to be honest, I don't care much for Wranglers. Let me turn on the Bluetooth. Where's my audio here? So I should have everything up and running right now. I don't hear anything yet, though. That's not good. Why not? Why don't I hear stuff? There we go. You should put that in the description. I was thinking it meant 36 by 100. Yeah, we could definitely add it. So 30, it's just kind of like a known thing, though, if you're ordering rolls that size. But I get how it's confusing when you're starting out. It's something that should probably be on there. I can try and remember to add that. Okay, so here's the crazy thing. If I'm doing this right now, like I literally can flip it all the way around and it just stays completely centered. It's super crazy. I can like, ooh, dang, that's awesome. So what I'm hoping is like there'll still be a little head bobble, but it should look smoother and like just completely smooth and level for like the entire stream. So I'm hoping it'll just take out some jarriness. As far as the warpiness goes, though, I think this is about as close as I can do it. I don't like the fisheye look, but the fact is that I'm like literally, I don't know, like 8 inches away from this glass right now, so it at least gives you the chance to see most of it. But you can, like little things like this, you can see like the door frame, right? Like, whoa. That's just kind of how it always is, though. But how much for this one? So believe it or not, not that much more. So I kind of give a little. What did I do? I did this one for like $6.50. So they were debate. Oh wow. You can tell kids are definitely in the back. Look at all the smears on the glass. This thing's super cool though. I like big loaded SUVs. Lincoln, I think, is one of those like underrated brands where I don't see them all that often, but they are still super comfy, and they've upped their styling some, and the interiors are just like so much nicer. They're just more comfy, which I appreciate. We wanted to do a Lincoln instead of the minivan for a little bit. When is the keg giveaway? Keg giveaway is going to be tomorrow. When do you think 50%, 50-foot rolls will be back in stock for 5%? I don't know. It's a good question. It's kind of a logistics thing. So if there's 100-foot rolls available, then the 50-foot rolls are available in theory. But the thing is, let's turn this on. The thing is, it just might be an inventory thing. I don't know. I have to talk to Gio about it and see. I wasn't aware that they actually were out of stock right now. So if there's anything that you're looking for right away, I mean, you don't have to order it off my site. You can go direct to like GeoShield, and you can call and ask them about stuff, and they'll get you film. They're always good about that. I don't want to keep you from getting stuff. The website really just helps support everything I do here too. So if there's something that's not there, I'd rather have you just get what you need, so give them a call. When is the shops tour? I want to see your lobby. We've done it a couple times, actually. It's better now. I have to top off my coffee today, so I have an excuse to go up there in a minute. I have a Christmas tree now, which I'm pretty excited about. We bought it a couple of years ago, and we've used it, but we didn't have a good spot to put it up this year with the sheer amount of space all the baby stuff takes up. And then we didn't want them eating all the little pellets off of it. I'll show you guys. It's fun. But I just got my Keurig station all set up. It's not going to get used very much. Because, I mean, I come in with good coffee. So, like, I don't have a reason to use the Keurig a whole lot. But a warm-up. You didn't finish your thoughts behind the 650. So it's winter. It's a little slower. 650 is like my normal sedan, my normal price for ceramic, and there's like a little bit, there's some more glass on this, so like versus $240 for what I normally charge for like color stable, I'll charge like $280 for this one. I'm planning on doing some type of a pricing change here. When like come early next year, we'll probably just do a jump as soon as demand really starts to pick back up. But I'll usually like $650 with a full windshield is what I normally charge for like a full car. So on this one, we're doing it for $650. So other than like I could have added maybe an extra $50 for it, which is kind of like what I do across the board with them anyways, but I think they were teetering a little bit. And yes, that comes with expensive or not expensive SUVs. So everybody's looking for some type of a deal on it. So I didn't just outright say it was a deal. I just said that was the price on this one. Daniel Reyna.
Daniel Reyna super chatted $9.99. Master Coolian Matt, Muster. All knees bent the Obi-Wan Kenobi of tinting.
Daniel Reyna, I think we're the 10. The Obi-Wan Kenobi. But he gets killed. What is the meaning behind the Lowe's tape? Oh, it just helps keep everything cleaner. So, new seals, old seals, rubber seals. I like to tape them off now. It does better. It doesn't take long to do. It is kind of tedious to put on there, but it's just one of those extra things that I think, like, it's like putting a brand new seal on a vehicle. But Daniel Reyna, thank you so much for the 10. I really appreciate it. As always. I have to figure out what's going on with this fog machine. I've been distracted from that. It usually goes off, and then just this last little bit, I've been so distracted with some other stuff. All right, so we have some things on some doors. We'll run up front really quick. I got a fair amount of time with this one too, so I'm liking this whole this new mod. This is fun. I feel like everything's a little bit smoother. I wish that, what was it? Can I buy a franchise? Detroit Tint Studio? No. I appreciate that, but look, I got a little coffee station now. I'm so fancy. That's actually one of the reasons I got these types of coffee mugs, is so they still fit under the Keurig, but it's like 20 ounces. So we're gonna add, ooh, we gotta do creamer first. I usually just go for straight French vanilla and put more in it. But I have a hazelnut one too that I'm gonna throw in here too. So we're gonna throw those in. And then, because I already have coffee in here, I think all I need to do is this one. It's a warm-up. So while that's doing its thing, yeah, a little shop tour, or a little showroom tour for people that haven't seen it yet. I know a lot have at this point. So this is my heat lamp demo. I've had this for a long time. The things that haven't changed are table, rug, couch. Basically all the furniture in here is the same. What we ended up doing was the floors. We painted the walls, most of them white, and then we brightened up the ceiling. So I still got to replace like some ceiling tiles, but these were like, never underestimate your lighting. These were all dingy yellow. We changed them to 6500 bulbs, and then I redid the plastic. So I bought new ones. So now it's all bright white in here, like daylight. And then these are acoustic tiles. And I don't know. I can put these on any number of effects. They're super cool, though. So if I, like, turn it off and turn it back on again, they have this, like, cool pattern that runs through the whole thing. And then it goes into, it's called Snowflake, which is very appropriate for winter. And then we got the GeoShield display boards. So, little game. The customer that came in here, they had kids and they were playing on this thing. And then this is my Christmas tree. This is probably my favorite thing. That's not true. Nah, it kind of is. So I can turn this up a little bit. So look, it's a snowing Christmas tree. How fun is that? But don't turn it up too much, because then the wind blows and then knocks all these little things all over the floor. You see, yeah. But it plays Christmas music too. I like it. How much coffee we get? Perfect. That'll work. But I like, that's all pretty new. I never go in my showroom ever, and now I want to go in it all the time because I made it nice now. So, oh, I gotta get a little trash can. Keurig. Decent. That's kind of what a Keurig is good for. It's good for, like, decent coffee. It's not amazing. It's good enough, and it's convenient. I've had it for like a while. I really like using a French press. And you can make it stronger. There's a coffee mate. Oh, I'm so sorry. It was up. Okay, actually, it wasn't up there when you were here. I kept forgetting to, like, put it up there. You at least got to sit in the nice showroom. All right, let me stay focused here for a sec. I need some film. So we need 5%. So that's going to be this. So we need 5, 20. Ooh, I do have short 20. So I'm going to need this 5 for the sides. And then, because I'm dumb and I don't have a short 5. But I hardly ever get it. So yeah, whenever I have people waiting up front, I'm reminded to, like, I'm gonna cut that off. I'm reminded to, like, up the showroom a little bit more. So, like, now I have the coffee maker, which I've had, and my wife's told me I need to put it up there, and I've been putting it off and putting it off. And now I'm like, oh, I got a coffee maker now. Should I do this width-wise? Saves a little bit of film. I don't know. I'm torn. So when you have a long roll on doors, these aren't really that curved either, so this should be fine. I go back and forth with what I want to do on this right now. So 36 should be plenty wide enough to do these sideways, and then you save some film that way. But if you got a 20 or 24-inch roll, just do them normal. Let's see. These aren't that big, are they? Yep, it fits. Look at that. I think it won't fit on an edge, but it'll fit on, like, F-150s. Ow! It's heavy. Giveaway is still going on. Link in the description, sundistributingdirect.com. You can enter. We'll be doing the drawing for it tomorrow. Add the keg to your cart. Check out. All the details are on the site. phone's at 2%. I don't think it's gonna make it. Time to go grab the charger. Already in it, just making sure I didn't lose. Yep, we haven't done it yet. I don't think I have anything to stream tomorrow for the giveaway. I was supposed to start this thing at 10, but they forgot they had an appointment. And then they showed up at 11-ish. So, but it's nice that I have all the time in the world to do it right now. So this is double limo right now. You can see through it a little bit, especially if you get really close. You're right about the tint with the auto dimming mirrors. Nice. Okay, that's good to know. It saves my eyes with all the terribly aimed headlights. Nice. Glad to hear it. Yeah, the 35. That'll give you a little bit more glare reduction. Nothing crazy, but a little bit. And I'm always, like, I always have tint. So sometimes, like, what I feel is a little light is now kind of new to some people. So I always try and remember that. God, this is slick. Oh, wait. No, that makes sense. I had more soap, and it's cold today. There we go. That's better. Knock that down. I'm going to change my blade. This is stainless steel. We were using this on a different car the other day. That's actually, no, we were doing that on the Tesla. No, not these. What are we going to grab? So what do you guys think? Does anybody notice a difference with the GoPro? Looks the same? Seems the same? Wouldn't notice unless I said something. There should be no more side-to-side head bobble. And then when I'm getting in and out of cars and tilting my head, it actually should look straight. Any tips for beginners? This whole channel is tips for beginners. There's never, my tip for beginners is there's never any magical tips that'll make you be able to understand everything. It's all just keep on keeping on. You're learning new stuff every day or every other day. Cool. I need to be taller. That's my problem right now. The way that I hold this knife is not good when you're trying to cut up this high. Some people hold it like a pencil, and I think that's a little bit better. Whenever I try and do that, my hand gets, like, I'm like this, right? Like, that gives you a little bit more whoa. But I never did it that way. Oh, I got a little notch there. Dang. You know, I'm handing it to these blades. I'm going to shift this up a little bit and recut this. If I'm doing this with like a stainless steel, it's snagging somewhere. And it's not giving me as clean of a cut as I want. And you could say, well, what happened there? Problem is I'm too short here. So everywhere that I'm trying to get my blade to like straighten up an edge a little bit more, it's going really, really nice. It's not snagging. I'm just trying to get my angle right. There we go. That's good. It's a big edge. All right, what were people saying? Did you look up electronics in the doors and dash before you started? No. I don't really know how. Like, there's not a good way to. So, it's kind of like you just keep your eye out for posts. I mean, you could do like a quick group search or something. But there isn't really a good place to like look up if they're like where things are. You just kind of know what you know from all the other ones that you've done. On this one, Lincolns generally have been completely fine. There isn't anything to really watch out with them. So throw a towel over the dash. Everything should be good. Is 35 worth it? The legal limit here, I'm not. Whether or not I give cops a reason to look my way. Oh, 35? For sure. It's like, it's gonna be a little light. Is it just complimenting these blades? What the fuck? Hang on. I'm doing that thing where I screw up an edge for no good reason. Never mind. We're throwing out the blades. Give me a little bit of overlap here. What's this mirror? Get that out of the way. Start here. How high do I have to go over the edge for this thing to cut? There we go. Thought I was it. See, if I keep like the same hand motions, everything's fine. But as soon as I try and do something different, that's what always screws me up. That always annoys me like a lot. So I have a habit of starting from like the back end and going to the front. But see, the problem is, I didn't just do something, did I? Okay, good. See, the problem is, it's like, to go this way, I have to be taller because of how high this goes unless I hold my blade different. But the mirror kind of gets in the way of some of these. So while you're cutting this way, boom, you hit the mirror. So it'd be smarter for me to learn how to cut a different way entirely. But I'm stubborn. Why are you putting Lowe's tape on there? Oh, it just helps with dirt. Dirt and covering things up. Ew, what? Why? Who does that? Oh, we cut these out sideways. We gotta remember that too. So we gotta move everything basically this way. Just smooth it out, and we'll shrink a little bit on the sides. There shouldn't be much that we have to shrink at all. They put the car wash sticker on the inside of the mirror. Why don't you just use your plotter? For all the reasons that I've said before. We have some testing to do on it, actually. Whoa, how's that? Whoa. We have a little bit of testing to do on it. There's a software update. I'm probably going to use it for the back. There we go. But I'm not going to do the plotter for the rest of it. I like cutting out doors much better than the plotter. We're going to find the legal info. Quick Google search. There's quite a few websites that'll have it. Also, your state website will have laws. So just do a quick search. What's legal in my state? Just look for what most people say, and that's probably right. So, lots of nice materials on the inside, right? So, we're going to just cover all this up. So, the tape on the top is to help this to stick to it, because, like, this is always 50-50 now. I've run into quite a few panels where it just doesn't stick so well. I just want to cover it all up. How long to tin a car? It depends on the car. A lot of times I'll put aside 2 to 3 hours to tin a car now. You can pretty safely tin a car inside of inside of an hour and a half or quicker. Just depends on how fast you want to push yourself. Yeah, we did shrink this one on the side. So if you go back, we flipped the roll sideways. So we did snap shrinking, but we did it on the side. So it's just to save some film. Because there's something that hurts me deep down from taking a 36-inch roll, rolling it straight over the window and cutting off the bottom and then throwing it away. Or, I mean, you could use it for some quarter windows or something else, but let's be real, I don't think I'm going to save it. I'm going to think about saving it and then accidentally not do it. You're on your last car on a Saturday. You crease the last window. Are you redoing it? Here, yeah, for sure. Other places, nope. It depends. It depends on like what the level of like. If it's a windshield, is it a back window? Is it a door? Like, depends on where it is. There were definitely times that wasn't the case. But here, no, I'll redo it. I'll make sure everything goes well. Anytime I try and save film, I misplace it and I throw it away. That happens with me a lot too. I'm so not used to having my own space to like organize everything. So the stream is one of those things that kind of also keeps me distracted from picking those things up. So I just kind of default to how I've usually tinted. So the problem with that is like I could have better organization. I could do a couple more things. I could be more set up for a physical space. But instead, I still kind of tint like a mobile installer, like a toolbox and everything on hand. The most that I do is like I've got plastic and some other stuff pretty close that I can get. So that part's nice. You excited about the giveaway tomorrow? No, because I gotta give stuff away. I gotta give my nice 5-gallon tank away. No, it'll be cool. Whoever gets it, I'll be very happy for them. We'll make it special. It doesn't get used. It's more for display. So, like, part of me wants to leave it on display, but hey. There'll be more kegs. I just ordered GeoShield. Nice. Hope you like it. I'm a fan. See? Now my edge looks nice. If we just can get it, then it looks nice. You know what's cool? So they said they got their car tinted at another spot before. And they're like, yeah, we're not going back to that spot. So while we were talking about pricing a little bit, that came up like, is there any Black Friday deals? No, unfortunately, I'm sorry. I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, we had our car tinted somewhere. Like, one of the points that I said was, I charge what I charge to try and help give myself the time to put out a good job. They're like, yeah, I appreciate that. Our last car didn't turn out so well. So we're not going back to where we got our car tinted before. So, because they were asking about bubbles and stuff. No, we don't like that. Let that sit for a sec. Still seems a little jittery. I never understood why tinters slap the glass. So, you know, like when you have something heavy and you put it down and then you smack it afterwards, you're like, gah! It's like that. Or it's to try and loosen it up to sneak it over. One of the two. So it's if you just try and like, it's in the stage of tacking up. So there's parts of it that are tacked up, or the whole thing starts to tack up, and you try and just slide it over, but it doesn't have enough give to it, so you have to like shock it, and that's where like the slap comes in, and you just like it loosens it up enough to like shift over where you need it, and then it starts to lock into place again. That's where that comes from. We're doing 5 on the back, or 5 on the front, 20 on the back over the factory, which effectively I'll make it all 5. There's no way the right side isn't creased. Well, we can take a look. Here. Get this off of here. Yeah. Yeah. There we go. Okay, so after you do a window and it's two-stage and folded like that, you will often have, it's mostly full of water right now. It's right on the edge. It depends on how tight the seals are. There will often be a little fold right there. So the thing is, what I do is little touch-ups after I finish the vehicle. So I kind of give it time to dry. Sometimes I'll do it right after. It depends on how bad it is. But you're right. Like, there's levels to that little fold/crease. So often it's going to be light enough to where it's a touch-up. So you warm it up, you dry it out, and then you press it all out, and then you never see it. But you have to dry it. And you do that with like a little bit of heat on the outside. Warm it up, and then the longer you can let it sit, like the more dry it's gonna get. So you gotta wait for that heat to kind of pass through. So like what that looks like is, I mean, you see this all the time. So on the front and on the back, it can be a little harder to see on the front. I got a little one where? Right there. So these would be harder to see. And I'll warm this area up. What you want to be careful of is side trims. So you warm up the glass. So this is hard to see because it's limo. So I'll put my fingers on the inside of here, and I'll heat it up, and then I'll back off on the heat, and then I'll put some more on, and then I'll back it off. I'm not trying to overheat like all the trim and stuff. You could also like do this and block it if you want. But what you're trying to do is, like, this is laminated glass, so this is going to take a little bit of time. You're letting that heat pass through to the other side and start to dry all that out. Give it some time, give it some time. It starts getting hotter. As soon as that glass basically hurts to touch, that's a sweet spot for heat. So you can try and press it out now. And then just kind of let that heat sit there and keep drying that out. So this is why I'll do this like near the end. Because you give it enough time. If I'm just doing front doors, like the time doesn't matter so much. But full vehicle, it's got time to sit. So then I'm going to take basically the back corner of this tri-edge here. See what I can press out. And just kind of let it sit there too. Heat it up. Wait. Heat it up. Wait. And then so any little folds that you had on the side, you should be able to just touch up. And you have a nice pretty window there. So I've actually I can't remember a single time where I've had a small fold that I've pressed out ever be an issue for somebody to come back and go, I don't know what this is, I don't like it. Because when you touch them upright, they should basically be invisible after that. They're also like right there on the seals. So because they're right there on the seals, like you'll only ever be able to see them from the outside. And then touch them up, and then they're gone. I'm trying to think if do I have Pro Classic? I don't have Pro Nano 20. other than that one. My easy reach always scratches the film. What's the best one? Some films are a little bit more scratch prone. I mean, there's so many people that'll harp on like Lumar and Suntech scratch coating. So for as much positive feedback as those films have, like people that actually work with them will complain night and day about the scratch coats. Oh, come on. But I like the blue and the pink ones. Those are my favorites. Do you feel like your karate experience helps with your tinting abilities? Look, it was Taekwondo, okay? I got up to a temporary black belt in Taekwondo. And then my mom paid for my black belt because testing was $500 and they pass everybody. So there was no point to go to actual testing. It's like piano. You forget everything. Maybe it helps with balance. That's about it. Did anybody else go to Taekwondo when they were younger? I got like screwed into no, it was my own fault. So my my younger brother, he had a friend and they both got into Taekwondo and I was like, that looks fun, I want to do that too. And then after about a month I wanted to stop. And my mom was like, no, you're gonna go until you're a black belt. I was like, what? So there was like 5 years of that. Like 3 days a week I don't even remember how much it was. I think it was like 3 days a week though. God, it was a lot. Nope, you started. You gotta be a black belt now. Why? You think that's a little much? All right, let's see if we can cut a better top edge. Matt started a Cobra Kai gang. Yes, took over the school. True story. Solar Effects, ceramic any good? I haven't used it, but I hear good things. There's people that like it a lot. I know it comes from a good source, so. Good films, good company. You'll be, I'm sure you'll be pretty happy with them, but try them out for yourself. They also have that territory system too. So like, check if you can get it in your area if you can. And you're liking the branding, then you're in good hands there. Do you charge the same for a small car? Wait, on small cars, do you charge the same for the rear windshield as the front windshield? It's very rare. I kind of just do charge the same, even though I don't need to, but it depends on what it is. It's not a common request. So like, I'm gonna be a little different from like some shops that are just taking in generally more work. So if somebody calls about just a back window, I'll pretty much charge just out of habit the same as I do a windshield. You know, there's all the same steps that go into it, but front windshield's gonna be harder than most back windows, especially because somebody is staring out of it all the time. But it's just not a common thing, so I don't really ever have to worry about it, like, or have people ask about it. If somebody calls and asks about just the back window, there's something up about the whole job. Like, it's been tinted before, they tried to tint it themselves. I don't know, any number of like oddball things. It's way out of the norm. It's not very often somebody gets their back window busted out either and just needs that tinted, right? So if that is the case, they're usually a little bit more budget oriented, so I'm likely to not be the person that does the job. But just kind of throwing all that out there. It's not a very common thing for me at all. Most people that call here are full vehicles. I just want to make sure I have this like set the right way. Okay, I do. Because it's all like square. It would suck to just flip this the wrong way and try and install it upside down. Or backwards. Yeah, we're going to go with this is the right way right now. Have you heard of Scorpion? Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep, be careful about the budget film. Try it for yourself. But I saw firsthand some of the less expensive stuff a year later, and it was a way different color from what it was installed initially, which makes it tough. So here, a few things to think about. Because I know budget is on everybody's mind, so you want to try and save as much money on film as you can. So one of the things that can really bite you in the ass a year from today is if you install a dyed film and you give it whatever the factory warranty is, and it's just like a lower grade film. It's like, you know, they have like a 2, a 3, 4 or 5 year warranty on it or whatever, and you're like, oh, okay, cool. Oh, yeah, it's got a 3-year warranty on it. Make sure it's got like a color stable warranty or something, because what'll happen is you'll install it, and a year from now, it'll fade or change color to like a brown or something, and then somebody will need a window replaced, and then you'll go to put the same film on it, and it's nothing you got anymore will match because it faded or changed so much. So I saw that firsthand with like their cheapest films. I hear good things about some of their better films, but it's a more budget-oriented film company entirely. So just keep that in mind. So I always harp on better films, but, you know, I get it. It turned off on me. So these ones, we could definitely hand cut them. We got plenty of room here, but they would kind of be fun to plotter cut too. I had my Scorpion tint. I had my car done in Scorpion ceramic. Looks a little bit hazy. Their better films, you should be good with that. It's always funny. Most of the questions that I get are people that, like, especially like that, are questions from films. How do we say this? Films that like people are looking to use. So and then I give my 2 cents, and then it's like, I just had it installed, and it's like, oh no. The ceramic was one of the better ones, for sure. It might have like a little bit of haze on it, yeah. But it's more of a budget-oriented brand, so that's not surprising. Sounds about right. It's just funny. I assume too much. I need backstory, but then there's always that delay, so I just rattle off what's at the top of my head. Yeah, my dad's shop was installing that for a while. Now they're installing ASWF, and I have mixed feelings about that too. Is it always gonna have haze? Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure they'll say wait a week. That's pretty much for the moisture. So it used to be the norm to say haze, bubbles, all that. Give it a week, like it'll dry. The thing is, it will dry, but carbon and ceramic films, they come with, like cheaper ones come with an inherent haze to them. That's just a characteristic of them. The more expensive a carbon or ceramic film is, in most cases, the clearer the film is going to be in those cases. So if you just did a color stable dyed, that's probably as clear as you can get. And then carbon and ceramic, they both help with heat. But the catch is haziness. So the finer all those particles are, the less hazy it's going to be. So when you go with just a more budget, or like people call and they'll just be like, yeah, but is it ceramic? Yeah, is it carbon? It's like there's levels to it. They're not all the same. You can't just have a broad like it's a car category. It's, you know, like you can have an economy car or you can have a luxury car, and you can nitpick lots of little differences in between them. Same thing with window film. You can have ceramic films, and each one of them are going to look a little different, and each one of them are going to perform a little bit differently. Those differences are less obvious, so most people will just bring in whatever fits their budget and customer service and then run with it. But what I hope most people do is you shop around, you play around with a couple of films, you install them on your own car, and you sit back for a couple of weeks and you drive around with it, and then you really get a feel for what it's like to live with the film that you're going to be installing on everybody's car. But, you know, that swings the other way for shops too, from like a customer's perspective, because customers and different clientele, they're trying to beat shops up all the time about price, so they're trying to offer as many features as they can and then still get you in the door, so some of them are more competitive than others. So would you say Geo dye has more haze than carbon? No, the dyed films, you can have a cheap dyed film and it'll just be as clear as can be. No low angle haze whatsoever in dyed film, because it's just polyester and dye. There's no particles there to cause a haze. If anything, the C2 and the Pro Nano are going to be slightly hazier than just the color stable. But what you're paying for in those is they're better, so that haze is going to be super minimal on the better ones. And it took a long time for some of these products to really develop, because the initial ones that they put out there was a new thing. you know, like Samsung with their folding phone, right? It's just a new thing. It's an early adopter thing. It's not going to be as good as the next one and the next one. So films take a while for them to kind of develop new features if they're worth putting money into. And then the market starts to catch on, and then technologies get better, and you have like multi-million dollar manufacturing facilities for these films, and then each step kind of brings all that forward. So I didn't pull in carbon until it was at a point where I felt like this is a pretty significant generational like improvement, where if I installed just 2 doors on the front to match the back, I'm not going to have people coming back and go, hey, my front doors look hazy now. I don't understand what that is. That's what really put me on C2. So if anything, you're going to notice, like if you put them side by side and you pull them out into the sun, I mean, like we did with a cheaper carbon and C2, we could point out clearly the difference between the two. And you'll probably be able to point out a very slight difference between the dye and the carbon. It's so close that it's like, unless you're putting them side by side, you're never going to notice. Oh, hang on. I see it. There we go. We're good now. Oh, the plastic? Carpet shield. Anyways, sorry, I'm kind of thrown off track a little bit. But yeah, there's, you know, these are always like long-winded discussions about the difference between dyed carbon and ceramic and stuff. Just whatever magical mysteries you think there are about them, it's very cut and dry. There's so much, just like, you know, carbon looks darker, ceramic looks darker, like this looks, it's like there's lots of muddy selling points that people use to try and make the ceramic seem better. And like, on the one hand, you just want to be a salesman and go like, yep, the carbon will look better. The carbon does look darker, blah, 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 blah. Because there really aren't that, like, heat rejection is really the be-all, end-all thing for it. It's like, that is the main selling point. So if you don't really care about that, you'll get a good tint job. I think it's significant enough that as soon as I stopped driving with it, I noticed the difference between the two. You feel that sun hitting your skin, and you're like, oh, this is just annoying. So that's why I like to drive around with ceramic. When I'm driving a rental car or anything else, it's like, you know, when we got our van, it's like we were driving it home, even on a cooler day. It's like you can feel this doesn't have ceramic on the front. That's annoying. But if you're just looking for a good job, just a good old carbon or color stable job, I mean, I guess the one silver lining about a carbon film is like I have a color stable dyed film that'll guarantee to not fade. That being said, it could still do that, but it's got a warranty to protect against that. With carbon, there's no dye in it, so therefore it can't fade. So that is another point, but like if a shop is going to protect against it anyways, does it matter as much? I don't know. But then you get a 50% heat rejection on top of it, so that's where it's like, oh, okay. Yeah, that sounds like a better thing. And we're not charging an arm and a leg difference between them. It's like carbon is, I think, the best value prop here. Ceramic is just, you know, you got the black label Navigator, right? Like you're just throwing some more money around anyways at nicer things. So this is the nicer thing that you can throw some money at. It's an option that's there. I like it. It's like you can go to Meijer and you can buy a basic bag, or you can get a Louis Vuitton. What do you want to get? Why would you get that? It's a bag. It holds stuff. They both have the same heat rejection. How does the warranty work? Good question. So customer comes in to get it fixed. Some films will have a nationwide warranty, and some will have a just warranty for the shop. So most films, most decent brands will come with some type of nationwide warranty now. So they have a dealer of a network of dealers that are also installing the same film. So you can drive out of state and you can get your window fixed somewhere else with the same film, as long as there's a dealer in your area. But yeah, somebody comes in, they're like, I got a Peely window. That usually is on the shop to fix. So there's a fair amount of them that are not technically under a manufacturer's warranty, but the stuff like bubbling, fading, peeling, that's all manufacturer's warranty there. So every manufacturer is going to be a little bit different. You want to look at the fine print on what that is, and then call and talk to them about it. Be like, hey, we had this job done. We registered the warranty. And there's obviously a film problem. We need you to compensate us for the job. Some companies will do labor and film. Some will credit. Some will do any number of things. Some of them will hang up the phone and ignore you. So step one is to make sure that you're installing something that you feel is going to last. Step two is to make sure that you're not going to get screwed down the road if something is a problem for you. So a good way to actually make sure of that is to just ask. Ask the company, but also ask my Facebook group, because there's a lot more companies that have been installing any of these films for any number of years. And they've had good experiences and bad experiences. So take everything with a grain of salt, but see what people are installing and how it's worked out for them. I would just shy away from the ones with big red flags where people are like, no. That's all. There's a lot of good film companies. Film has had a lot of time to kind of mature. So there's a lot of good film companies out there. Geo is just the one that I like to work with, and like I think they've got a really nice upgrade path, and they have killer customer service. So they take care of all their dealers as far as I've ever heard. So, but by all means, you don't have to use them. Up in the thumb, love your shop, great setup. Thank you. I'm using Express. That's cool. You think carbon fades? Nope. No, if anything, the adhesive is gonna go. If it's actually made with carbon, it can't. Because dye can fade. So like, dye will change, like, you have UV beating on it all day. So the sun will naturally fade out some of the colors unless it's got good UV inhibitors and their quality dyes in the film. Carbon, on the other hand, it can show haze. The haze isn't going to get any worse, at least it shouldn't, but the adhesive can fail. So that's the first thing between, the film and the sky. How do you become a Geo dealer? Oh, it's not hard. It used to be, they now sell film off their site. They used to just kind of be like you call them and set up an account. Now we have there's a few places where you can buy them online. You can go to either mytintstuff.com or geoshieldusa.com and just make an account. You can buy the film. It's just behind a little bit of a wall there, just to hide some of the retail pricing, or dealer pricing, should say. But it's easy enough to get a handle on. They're one of those sweet in-between companies. They're not going to have as many resources as some of the big multi-billion-dollar corporations that are behind some of the films. But that causes them to also, put a lot more into the current accounts that they have. So big companies can be very arrogant. Smaller companies generally are more personable. So they're kind of in this in-between state where they have really good films, excellent customer support, and they're, basically that. Those two things right there. But they don't have as strong of a name per se, like a more recognizable name as like 3M. I think next up would be like Lumar, and then XPEL is, I think, making a lot of ground on that right now too. And you have some interesting ones that have a lot of potential too. And then there's a lot of those, there's those top tier brands, which, I mean, I don't know. A lot of companies don't really give away a ton of stuff anymore. Like back in the day with auto accessories, you used to have big corporations throwing stuff at shops, and they had a lot of flexibility on the way that they could support their dealers. Now most of them are just avenues to getting film and customer support, and if something happens, this is the vast majority of them. Some of them will have fancier displays and might be able to work something along with a plotter if you're a really big account, but at that point you probably don't even care. Not as much. Because my dad's company was a Lumar dealer for a while, and he managed to get a plotter. You order X amount of film, and we'll set you up with a plotter, because they just they see you as a growing account, and then they want to invest in you. But over the years, that type of stuff changes, and now companies are a lot more stingy than they used to be, I think. All right, one more here. I gotta replace an O-ring on this thing. Last 2 days, I've been watching your videos, and there's 8 to 10 years they keep popping up. Nice, very cool. That'll happen. As soon as you start binge watching a channel, it'll feed you all the other videos. So I got 2 choices on the back of this. I could either A, glass 8 and hand cut it all, or B, we could throw some film in the plotter and do all that. So I'm thinking we might plotter cut all the back. Trucks and SUVs especially are nice to do that with. Oh, I should use this other one. There is an update, so let me check the time right now. 1. I think we'll be okay. So, like, I'm on the fence. I could, let me try and do an update, and let's see if we, do we do that? I think, live software update? What could go wrong? Oh, boy. What could go wrong? Oh yeah, there was a comment. Somebody said they broke their sink. How'd you do that? Gotta admit, I've actually never broken a sink. I've lost plenty of them. I've never broken them. What's the bill on a full SUV ceramic? With the windshield, $650 to $700 without the sunroof. With all the sides in the back. So like this is cheaper by a little bit than the Model 3. Model 3 was a crazy one. We should also, while we're doing the bat, I'm gonna prep this first, so that way it's got a fair amount of time to dry. So we'll look at also removing, so there's a Lincoln sticker there, there's a Park sticker on the other side. Explain tucking. Aww. Should have been a little sooner. We just finished the door. The last door. Gotta ask a little earlier. Why did you switch to Geo? So I was using Avery, and I was pretty much like only using one film by Avery. So I was using, at the time, they were Haneditech. I was using Sigma Pro, which is now NR Pro. Went from a pretty cool name to boring. But that's a combo. That's a dyed carbon hybrid. So what they said was, you get the benefits of carbon, but not the haze problem. When I think that translates from what I saw into our carbon technology just isn't quite there yet to go all carbon. So we did a combo of the two. We did dyed and carbon together. So the carbon that we have in there actually showed some haze. Not a lot, but like, the thing is, carbon only blocks out so much. So you have to like add a lot more carbon. So it's just like, especially in the lighter shades, you didn't have that performance. So it was really like a little bit of haze and not a lot of performance to back it up. So, but it was still a good film. I installed it for a while. And then as soon as they dropped NR, or like they came out with it, I switched to NR entirely because I'm like, solid company with no haze, sign me up. So I was tinting for a bunch of places that pretty much always sold one film. They just sold a tint job. They didn't sell a full range. They were just like, yeah, I got this guy for tint. Okay, what shades? Okay, cool. And like that was the conversation. So it wasn't until like I really went out on my own that like I started offering that myself. So like I've worked with shops that have done it, but I was in this position where like doing mobile, it was basically just like you couldn't get them to talk about more than one film. They would just like sell tint jobs. They had other stuff. They weren't worried about you. They're just, yeah, I got this guy for tint. They thought $250 was great. And not even talk about windshields. It was just, everything was just a straightforward tint job. So when C2 came out, I was at this interesting position where I was starting to go out on my own and now wanting to offer some different films. So I took a nice look at Avery and I was like, and then I took a nice look at Geo, who I'd worked with in the past, and went, So that's kind of how all that came about. I mean, there's a handful of other companies that I was eyeballing at the time. But I don't know. Geo fits so well in what I do. I mean, there's a lot more that would fit into what I do here. But another problem is I'm in this weird spot where, like, a bunch of people are watching, and I get question after question about, like, what do you use? Why do you use that? How do you do this? How do you do that? So there's a lot of people that just kind of want to use what they see works. So I didn't want it to be anything that you guys couldn't get for yourselves either. And I like the fact that they kind of like root for the little guy. So it sounds all nice to go with like a bigger film brand, but you know, they got to really bring some stuff to the table, and a lot of them, they already want you to be a decent film company when you pick them up anyways. Not all of them, but a lot of them. So they'll have like minimum orders and just kind of expected things where, I mean, if I was a film company, why, tell me friggin' why any one of these film companies doesn't have any type of a better, more public training program to get more people learning and tinting. Why don't they? Most of them don't. Most of them don't have resources. Most of them are just trying to sell you film. Like, the number one, you want to just get your dealers installing more film, teach them how to be a better business, a more efficient business. All that stuff. Ceramic Pro does. Do they have public stuff available, or is it kind of like you sign on as a dealer and then we'll help support you? Which I do appreciate. I think they're one of the few companies with that understands modern marketing. I mean, that kind of goes into a big discussion on how I feel about like a company like XPEL. I think XPEL understands a lot of this, and they dabble occasionally, but their programs are pretty locked behind a curtain, so you have to kind of like sign up with them. And then I think they got some good resources to help you out as a company. So that's good to hear. But there's so many that like, if you want to get more people installing film, teach people how to do it. I don't know. It just kind of blows my mind. I believe it's both. I keep a decent eye out for a lot of things, and I haven't seen anything posted by them super publicly. Like, they definitely don't they don't make it known if they do. I think they've done a couple of interesting things, but not at any type of scale. But they're taking a cool approach to the whole film industry too. There's like this is why good marketing lessons. This is why like XPEL kind of blew up the way that they did. In the window tint category. So, I don't know. What, their film's been around for like 5 years, I think? At this point, like, how many years has it been? Has it been like only 5? Geo's been around longer than that. So why do more people talk about XPEL than Geo? Well, they kind of snuck in, they dominated paint protection film, which is generally just a higher end market altogether. And then they kind of just added film to what they were doing. So they took a pretty reputable film brand and, like, you know, they put their own label on it. And so now, well, I say reputable film brand. They really took just a solid film and then put their own name on it. Tinters knew that it was a good film, but their brand wasn't really out there in any sort of personable way. Like, nobody was asking about them. So they took something that people trusted and then they put their name on it, which had better branding. So then they just took over the market really, really fast. So I see Ceramic Pro kind of doing a similar thing. They're in the ceramic market with ceramic coatings. And they've built up higher end businesses that way. And now it's only a matter of just adding in window film. So I think they should make it a little bit easier to pronounce, but hey. That's about it. But Geo has a different angle entirely. They work with a lot of smaller shops and companies, and like they've been building up their name a lot more over the past couple of years. And they got a solid product line. But they are window film primarily, competing against other window films, where some of these other companies are a little bit broader scope. So they're primarily like another high-end thing, and then they add in window film. Super chat.
Jose78 Rios super chatted $9.99. What's up? How everything is going today? Love from
Jose.
Memphis.
Jose with the 10, thank you. We're doing good today. We're doing good. Thank you for the 10. Much appreciated. Good to have you again. What film? Yeah, Global. I mean, you heard nothing but pretty positive things at the time about Global, but you didn't hear outside of the tinting about Global. So in swoops XPEL with better marketing altogether. And then no wonder, like, oh, I get to use this film under this brand? Yeah, sure, sign me up. And they let a lot of people use it. My super annoyance with them is they backpedal. They opened up that market. They let a lot of people use it, and then now they whittle it down to like the best of those, or the biggest orderers of those. Creative Auto Salon. I like the film, but it rolls the film side facing you. Sometimes when you peel off the liners, the film will roll on itself because of the way it's rolled. Which film? Okay, so we got that sticker off. We got to get that one off, and then an oil change one. Does this have a big old panoramic roof? It does. You know, I should have talked about the big old panoramic roof. It didn't even enter my mind. That kind of tells you how much that I've done sunroofs. Ceramic Pro? Oh, interesting. I haven't ever used their film. That's no good. You don't want a film to roll in on itself. I also don't know where it comes from either. Wow. Michigan, you really have some sticky stickers. You know, when somebody puts these wreck stickers on their car, they're not taking them off. What's a better bang for your buck? Bigger rolls or lots of small rolls? Usually just the big rolls. I guess it depends on how budget you're trying to go. Because there's shipping costs along with those too. So generally I'll just order any film in the size I need and just default 100-foot rolls of everything. I would do the same for 50-foot rolls. So just the most important ones are going to be 36. I mean, if you want to put it up on a shelf, you could get 40s, and then so you just buy 40s, split them in half, and then use them for cars. It's a little bit harder to do that right on the car, but you can. There we go. Now we got that all situated. So I guess we can tint the rest of this now. Plotter time. First, let's take our film and let's load it into this crazy machine here. Boom, boom. There's that. There's that. Oh, okay. Cool. Enter. Canon. Oh yeah, that's a really dumb thing too. Why can't Geo sell 36 by 50 of C2? Because they're split on platforms and it drives me a little crazy. All right, let's do a software update. So some films have moved over to a 72-inch platform and some are not. So they're moving a ton of film right now, and they got to pick and choose what they carry and how they split it up. So there's been a lot of shortages just for everything. But Pro Nano comes on a 72-inch platform, and so does Pro Classic. So what that means is instead of 60-inch rolls, it's now made on 72-inch rolls. So you can take 72, cut it in half, and you have 36. 36 and 36, or 24, 24, 24. Really easy in that. The problem is, like with 60s, 40s and 20s, or 36s and 24s made a lot of sense. But it's a way for them to kind of, you know, anytime they're cutting a 36, which is probably the most popular, then they have 24-inch rolls sitting on the shelf, where now they cut 36s, and then they have, you know, they're getting rid of like whole boxes instead of just like the small rolls are stacking up. We need to do a clearance sale or something like that. So with C2, it is on a 60-inch platform still. So that's where it just, they more do 40s and 20s of that. That's what they've told me. It's super annoying, but that seems to be the case. All right, software update. How do we do that? So first we have to open the software, and then we have to go to the desktop. Whoa, that's a crazy window. Hang on one sec. Wait for it to pop up. There we go. Install update. Let's do it. So, new features to Film Cut. Support for redundant servers. I don't know. Cuts are organized for more efficient cutting and nesting. added new preferences options. So those are all well and good, probably. The ones that I really care about are pull mode, which I heard about, and then something else. Set pinch roller width. Oh yeah, it's got some more updates for like pinch rollers and stuff like that. Stuff that it should have had for way long ago. So we're gonna just see if we brick it or not right now. Let's do it. In the meantime, we can answer some questions. I ordered 35% Pro Nano the other day. Didn't notice they don't have V Nano anymore. What? They could be out of stock. See, that's the thing. There's been it's hard to keep up with all like what they have in stock and what they don't. Quit and install. Let's do that. I clicked it. Oh, there we go. Oh, that's a fun, scary window to get. So is an installer going to pop up? Oh, there it is. Help. Check for new version. We're on the latest. This is it. This is it, boys. I'll have to ask them about V-Nano. I have no idea. It was a film I never really used either, but it would surprise me if it's not. It's probably just out of stock. So what is this? They said they were going to stop focusing on V-Nano, and it probably wasn't doing very well. Lincoln Navigator. It's in the title. So this is the same 21 through 18. I like that they do this. This is just a small thing that not every software does. Lets you know when things changed. I super appreciate that. So 40? So you might want to call them and see if you can still get it. Sorry, this is 36. Wait, why do I have a 36 in there? I need to put a... Shit, what did I throw in there? Oh my god, we're going to make a huge mistake if we do that. I put a 5% roll, which would be like super dumb. All right, we'll switch it out. I got to decide either between a 36 or a 24 here. So we'll kind of see what our patterns are saying. So we want these. So these say fixed. That's appreciated. So we can flip these around. Oh, look at that. Oh no. I was going to say it changed color on me. The most important one for me, and defrost. So it's got, we can do defroster cutouts or no defroster cutouts. Ooh, scary. I usually opt for no defroster cutouts just in case it doesn't line up. But we can put it to its paces. We can see. You can see it's such a small back window. So if we could probably, I wonder if we switch this to like a 24. Look at that. We can get those quarter windows. Film cut looks just like Express Cut. I've never looked at Express Cut. Good God, this is becoming an industry problem then. It's, as far as I know, they might have changed the price, but it's $85. And then if you plotter software, there you go. You can use a Tint Studio code, and you can get it free for 30 days. So there, you can save a month off of maybe the same thing. I've never used it. I didn't realize there's a fair bit of rebranding going on with all that stuff. I had no idea. I've only ever looked at a couple of them. So if it looks the same, it's probably the same. And then what is the next thing that we have to do? So I want to just see these quarter windows together. So these together are going to be a little bit bigger. So if I do 36, so if I want to do like a lot, I can do this way. I can just kind of arrange them, and you see, so I can put this here, I can put this here. I can switch them around a little bit. I can take these quarter windows, I can slot them in here or down here if I want to. These are annoyingly sized though, and I don't feel like, I think I'll do a 24. We'll just swap it with a 24 and we'll do that. And then we'll do a 24 for that, and then we'll probably do a 36 for the other ones. I just don't want to cut that long of a piece because I don't have the best setup for cutting it out yet. So let me swap out my roll first. Solar FX has their own called Laser Cut, but the same layout of the software. Come on, man. Are you serious? They all do it now. Good God. So, here's what I know. The ones that are truly like the OGs, I think are like you have Digi, which was one that completely escaped me. You have Tint Tech, Film and Vinyl. You have TrueCut, which I guess is now Core. So that's through Lumar. You have DAP, which is through XBell. You have Computer Cut, which is through SolarGuard. Which, fun fact, I didn't know this. You can use their software on a monthly plan without using their film. So Computer Cut is probably, it's I think $250 a month. It's been around the longest. So if you guys are looking for like software and you've tried some of the other ones and you're not happy with it, that is another option that's out there. I thought it was tied to SolarGuard in a way that always made you use SolarGuard. Turns out that is not the case. So that's good to know. All right, so let me cut this. So is it gonna work? Oh, look at that, it's cutting. Oh, I wanted to do the cut on pole. How do we stop it? Damn it. I guess we'll have to do that on the other one. I really liked, my favorite is DAP. I love DAP, but you can't get DAP unless you're an XBell dealer. Computer Cut, I don't know. I think it was decent, but it gets a little muddy. But I think it was decent. Where I was confused was we switched between Computer Cut, TrueCut, and Film and Vinyl all within like a certain period of time. And I thought I liked TrueCut the best. So that would now be Core. Oh, God. It just made it. Holy shit. Oh, no. Come on. Come on. Don't crinkle. No. Give me my film, damn it. How is it even hung? Oh, it's the sticky. Did we escape? No, we're gonna sacrifice all this stuff. What a bummer. So this was like probably plotter settings right here. So we're gonna cut all this up. I think it was like almost okay right at the end there. Let's turn it down just a hair. 60. And then we'll recut it. I can do a cut on pull though. Let me try and do something here. Desktop. So they should have a feature here. Options. Oh, look at that. They have an options menu. This is new. Cut list, inches, millimeter, plotter. Pull mode cutting. Post feed. That's cool. What's this calibrate? So let's close that. So if we go to edit and then we go to options, right? It saved it. Pull, cutting, tint. Okay, so what that means, we're gonna try it again here. Let me get rid of some film first. Is that it's gonna spit the film out and then it's gonna cut it. So let's do this. So it should spit all the film out to a certain point and then only cut it on the back pull there, which should help clean up some of the cuts, because this is a not expensive machine. Oh, look at that, it's doing it. It's spitting it all the way out. Aw, just like a graph tech. Look at you. You're so smart. I guess that's more software than platter type, but this is what I'm used to seeing. So when you're trying to calibrate your like plot cutter, all that, and it's pushing and pulling the film, I'm guessing it's not as consistent. I think cutting on the pull is a lot smarter. It's a little slower. But if it's, see, it cuts and then it spits the film back out and then it cuts again on the pull, so everything's trying to lay about as flat as it can. Post feed, that's a cool setting too. Ah, yes. That's cool. That's what I was, so I put 6 inches on that. Should be a little bit less. Could be about 5, 4.5 to 5. So basically what that means is after it's done cutting, there's this little groove here in the plotter, and it's just convenient to take your blade and just cut there. So you've had to see me go into settings, spit more film out to get a nice clean cut. Now I don't have to do that anymore. So good job, Film Cut. Way to go. So anybody that's also using a software that looks scarily similar, if you also got the exact same updates, then I'm going to say it's the same thing. That's so dumb. Nice. So we're cutting through. So the question is, anywhere here, this is the point where cut there all the way down to here and then followed it up, and this is how far off my plotter is on those two matching up, just a little bit. So that's not bad. This one looks like it's supposed to be here, and this one looks like it's supposed to be here, right at the bottom. Okay. Oh, shit. Ooh, that's not good. That's not good either. See, I wonder if I should be at... I thought it was doing good at 60-something, but... Yep, it should be just a little bit more pressure than that. I want to cut all this out one more time. I don't want to throw away more film, but... Dun, 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 dun. Oh, hang on 1 second. Hello, Tint Studio, how can I help you? Yes, I do. Okay. It would start at $100 to the front too. No problem. Have a good one. Yeah, I need just a little bit more on this. Oh, it's so annoying. So if we had remembered to do cut on pull from the beginning, we might have not had this problem. I'm guessing that's what caused our problem in the first place. But it's tearing away enough that looks like we'll be able to get it. Try turning the blade out slightly. That could also fix it. I'm on the fence there. I don't know which one to do. I usually just, like, now that I got the blade kind of situated, most things are pretty like, fix themselves just by, like, adjusting the feature set a little bit, like the pressure. Because I don't like tweaking the blade so much, but I think either one will be really close. So much extra here. I also hope this is slightly oversized. But as long as this all lines up, then I'll be pretty happy. I think I gave that edge a haircut, just a slight one, so that's not great. But on these back windows, we don't need dryer sheets for them. They're pretty flat. So if anything, we'll just spray it and wet shrink it. Because it's pretty much like a door. Where do you get your replacement blades? Any of the two tool suppliers, so Tint Depot and Sun Distributing. Can you use autofilm for home window installs? I wouldn't recommend it. So if you have sun-facing windows and you put autofilm on them, they can crack. If it's something you just want to do like on the interior, it's not that big of it. It's like you'd be totally fine. But if you're doing it to literally block the sun and you have like laminated, or not laminated, sorry, like dual pane windows, the heat will cause it to, they'll absorb, will cause them to crack. It would be very expensive. Where's my chat? Let's get chat back here. That's not my chat. Oh. No, let's put that there. Put this here. Having a hard time with specs using tap water, but I don't know if that's the issue. Well, it'd be worth it to buy like a gallon jug of water and find out. That's probably the simplest way that you can find out. Next time you're at the store, just pick some up. Also, you can get just a inline filter. So like, if you have a spigot, you can fill up your tank that way. If you have like city water, you're probably a little safer than like hard water, but they can still all have little deposits in them. But get yourself like an inline carbon filter. I mean, those are pretty inexpensive, basically like RV filters. I can't even see this very well. Just saying. Like, it's got this spoiler ridge, and I don't have a lot of lighting back here. And we're doing 20 over the limo, or 20 over 20 to make limo, so I can't even see this very well right now. So there's only a little bit of shrinking here. So I'll do these the same way that I'll do any other door window, with like a little bit of snapping, shrink some fingers, just whatever I can do to get it down. There's just not much that needs to be shrunk. So versus a regular back window with regular curve, there's a lot more that needs to be shrunk on a back window. But, you know, this thing, we fit it on a 24-inch roll with quarters to spare. So, you know, there's just not as much that needs to be done. So, it's, it should be close enough. I think it was right here. Go. Ding, 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 ding. Wow. I said something and then it stopped. Hello, Tint Studio. How can I help you? Oh, hey. Yeah, I got your voicemail. I'm meaning to call you back by the end of the day. Yeah, we got to schedule you to get that window fixed, right? Yeah, for sure. I could get you in tomorrow, if that works, or did you want to do something a little bit later? I could get you in probably about, would 1 o'clock work? Yeah, so it'll take probably up to, I'd say, an hour at the longest. Should be done before that, but you know, there's gonna be some glue and stuff I gotta strip off. And then I'll just, yeah, throw a new piece on there for you. Yep, that should work out great. Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah, it caught a seal, so the edge must have flipped up a little bit, and then it caught the seal and peeled. Those windows have like some dot matrix on the sides too, which is a little unusual for doors. So did it do it on like a front edge, or did it do it on the back edge? Okay, so from the inside, the bottom right. So it'd be, yeah, with that dot matrix. I'll try and cut it out a little bit longer and open up and close it a couple times. So just like the other side is fine, I'll try and make sure that side is as good as it does so it doesn't do that again for you. Yeah, that would work great. Do you want to bring it in at 10? Yep. Okay, sounds great. I'll see you then. Bye. Oh no. I didn't get to switch headphones quick enough. Hang on 1 second. Please connect. It is connected. Okay, so hopefully it'll work again. Yeah, so there's a BMW battery low. This shouldn't be battery low. It should work. All right, now I have 2 hands. Cool. So I did a BMW the other day, and it had those dot matrix on the sides, and one of the windows, unfortunately, is peeling, the passenger side. So that's no good. So I got to fix that. I'm going to fix that tomorrow for him. But even for me, it happens. Those are extra annoying because like there isn't any good glass for it to stick to, so you kind of just like install it as best as you can, and maybe a little lower would be better. I don't know. But I did both sides, as far as I could tell, the same. But one side decided to go. So that's warranty work on my own dime. installation problem, not manufacturers. I hope I didn't just give this a stupid haircut. Sometimes the software will go like scary close to all the edges, and sometimes they'll give you like a little bit of wiggle room. I never know until it's on the glass. But I'm hoping, crossing my fingers real hard here, that I have enough wiggle room on that edge. I won't know. I don't know. That's good. Ooh, those cutouts are actually pretty sweet. Hey, looks like I'm all covered. Make sure up there they look good. You guys can see better than me. Ooh, nice. Yep, just enough overlap over the whole thing. That gets really close. Perfect. We're good. +1 for the cutout. That's sweet. These cutouts actually lined up really, really nice. Oh, that's a weird thing. They put like a little square here, but that's part of the window. That's goofy. I don't think I've seen that. All right. I don't know if my headphones are working. So let's change this. Let's do a little test. Canon. Canon. Where's my... Oh, there it is. Hey, it is working. Okay, good. Is ceramic harder to shrink? Yes. No. Yes and no. It used to be, and some of them still are, but it'll depend on the one that you're installing. If you're newer to tinting, they'll shrink. Most of them now will shrink nicely, just slower. Sometimes some are harder to touch up. But again, it really depends on the ceramic company or like just the film. You never know until you get that stuff in your hands and start doing it. So this goes back to the conversation that we were having earlier about so much about the differences between them. The main difference for the customer is going to be heat rejection. On the installer side, the glue, the film, like it all is just, it can be different. So you can have one that acts a lot like your dyed film, but even one dyed film to the next, they're all going to be a little bit different. So broad, yes, it's usually a little bit slower to shrink, and sometimes they're a little bit touchy. But also, no, we just did Pro Nano on a Model 3 the other day, and the Pro Nano shrinks incredibly well. I'm super happy with that film. I have an old video on the channel comparing Pro Nano to just a regular shrinking film. because the original video idea was going to be, you know, ceramic versus dyed film, like what to expect from ceramic. And then I tried shrinking Pro Nano, and I was just like, this just goes down quick. I'm gonna get asked about that film from time to time. I don't talk about it. What do you recommend for me to use for tint and tools? So there's a couple of places. Tint Depot and Sun Distributing. Sun Distributing. There we go. They also have a contest to get a free keg. But, so if you're starting out, those are both recommendation lists of tools that I use. And then they also have like starter kits available from both sites. Tint Depot leans a little bit more towards just general retail, I guess. They have good films, but they also have some nice budget-oriented films. So if you're practicing, you don't need to get an expensive film, because just like that comment, if you're going to AutoZone to buy film, you can save so much more money by buying more film at one time. And then these are the films that everybody is installing. They're buying bulk rolls off of websites. So a lot of those are coming from, you know, like actual professional film companies, but there's some of these in-between ones too, like Tint Depot, where they do offer good films, all under a Tint Depot brand. So you can get some good film really, really easily. Sun Distributing and Geo, they lean a little bit more towards the professional dealer. So they're more like easy to access good films that aren't going to be as cheap, because good film can only be so cheap. Oh, why does it do it on this side? That makes no sense to me. Hang on. That's why it did that. Because we're taking our sweet old time. Okay, hang on. We gotta let this reconnect. One of my batteries died. I got new batteries too. I gotta put some Velcro on them. I think these have been going strong for about a year. Is that PPF used to cover the door panel? No, that'd be extremely expensive. This is like a carpet protector. It sticks good to most door panels. Channel 1, channel 1. All right, cross your fingers here. Hopefully this goes smooth. Do you use the GoPro mic or a separate mic? I use the Rode wireless. It's a little bit cleaner. GoPro works well, but I also have some little tricks with this mic too. Ooh, that's good. Okay, I wish I could show this right now. Maybe I can. Oh, I can. Wait, watch this. No, this one. Okay, here, you guys want to see something crazy? So I got the max lens mod on this thing. And this, you can see real time. This is the GoPro max lens mod. They just put a software update. Watch this. you can just flip this thing completely around. So we're looking at the Lincoln right now, just completely upside down, and it stays level. It stays level the whole time. There's no more like side wobble. It's so cool. That's nuts. Sorry, I have fun. It works well. Please don't cut yourself with a blade in your mouth. You wouldn't be a tinner unless you put blades in your mouth. So this is why I like the mic. GoPro. Boom. Switching. So it listens to things that I say, and then I can do fun little things. So as I'm walking back to the computer, Canon. Isn't that fun? GoPro. GoPro. It doesn't always work, but it works well enough. Did you say something about the tape? The Lowe's tape? I always say stuff about it. Dun, dun. YouTube quit. I finally got my question in, and then the app closed. No! It's like when I'm gonna install a windshield and my battery dies. No fun. These patterns are good. As far as the quarters go, and the back window. Quarters and back window, solid. So yeah, I just like to cover up panels. So that's annoying. I don't think I've ever seen a baby seat like that in the back. We should have thought about this a little bit more. So this window, easy to get to with that in the way. This one, normally easy to get to, but it's got a full child seat in the way and the seat belt. That makes it not so fun. Oops. So we're gonna cut out one side and then I guess we'll do the other side. We're gonna up the pressure too. I'm gonna turn up the pressure just a little bit. I'm gonna shift this over. Okay, and then we're gonna click force and then enter, and then we're gonna do that. We're gonna bring it back. There. No, the cake has not been given away yet. Where are we? Film cut. Okay, so get rid of that, get rid of that, get rid of that. Canon. Oh, wait. I need one for desktop. See, I don't have one for desktop. I need a desktop command. So rear quarter left, that'll be the driver's. Rear quarter right, that'll be the passenger side. See, this is annoying. I should swap it out for a 36, but this is me being lazy. GoPro. But this should cut out okay. Hopefully it won't rip through it. If it rips through it, then we made the wrong choice. It's cutting on pole now. What do we got? What do we got? Looking good. Maybe we made the right choice. We successfully got it cut. Oh, I forgot to change this part, so then it outfeeds that much. It's still helpful. We'll change it. See? See those little differences? You cut it, you pull it over the glass board. Look at that. Improvements. Yes, please. No! I wonder if this chewed up my blade. That would be even worse. It's close. That's the worst. Whenever a mistake happens that chews into your blade, and then you're like, this hold down. Is those tape waterproof? Yeah, so it's a house wrap tape. So it's got more water resistant adhesive, and it sticks to lots of things and pulls away pretty clean. Actually, I guess I can't say always clean now. I saw somebody, unfortunately, ruin a leather panel, but it was on an old F-150 or old something like that. Nice. What is the problem here? Come on. Are you... What did I do wrong here? I'm over this. Backlash works. These work. These are the exact same size. What is the result? There's got to be two versions of this. There's got to be an extended version of this. It's probably the Navigator L. Where would it say that? Hang on, before I bitch too much. It's like the Tahoe versus the Suburban, for sure. It's there. Okay. My bad. 100% on me now. Okay. Okay. There is a difference between the two. We live and learn. Now we can tweak our plotter a little bit more too. I held my tongue a little bit, and thankfully I did, because that's my mistake. I didn't know there was a difference, but now I do. Okay, so enter, and then oh, I'm scared to do this. So righty tighty. We gotta loosen the gold. Oh, let's just take this out. This is gonna be too much of a pain to do. I hate doing this because this is when things go bad. So loosen up the gold ring and then tighten up this one just a little bit and then tighten this back up. So that should, in theory, bring it out just a little bit more. And then if we click cut on 63, hopefully it won't rip through. One side might be smaller than the other side. I hear you, but no, they're the same. That's with, I know exactly what you're talking about. That's with like the Tahoes. They literally put them one on top of the other in the software and they show they're identical. So it's for the correct side. I could put it to over to the other side, but there's such a clear difference that no, it's not that. But I hear you. In all caps. Okay, so I don't think we ripped through any film, so that's good. Dang it, we forgot again. See, I'm glad I opted for a 24-inch roll right now. So I'm sad on the inside because this is all very helpful 20% that I'm just throwing away. Not super cheap. Not super cheap, not super fun. In the name of... Ooh, oh, oh, oh! Snagging just a hair, but that worked. Much better. Much, much better. So there's a combo. No, it's an obvious difference between the two. I didn't know they had a long version. So I just saw Navigator, and like they spit out the years. So one said L, one didn't have L. I just didn't pay attention to it. So that one's, I can own that one. What would have really driven me crazy was, it brings me back to when we did a windshield strip. And it was like half a foot too short, and you're looking at it going, everything else lined up. There's no way to tell. So the software is pretty basic. It's just one of those things that's gonna happen unless you know, but you learn by making those mistakes or just paying more attention. But there's so many different model types that don't change much, but that one definitely does. It's like the Tahoe to the Suburban. I get it. I just hope some of you guys are really paying attention to this, because when you get a plotter, inevitably, then you can run into these issues too, and you likely will. Shouldn't you? No. Depends on your film. So you can shrink it before you weed it, but there's nothing wrong with doing it ahead of time or after the fact. It saves time. There's not much shrinking here, and the plastic here, it depends on the film that you're shrinking. There's no reason you can't do it that way. You just gotta be a little careful around the edges. If anything, you're just gonna burn it. You're gonna burn it a little bit. And that's not super fun, but just make sure you don't burn the film. Then you would be a sad camper. I should move my spray tank. Oh, come on. Are you kidding me? It's like, if I pull this too tight, the hose is closing on itself. There's this like forever back and forth. It drives me crazy. You're not using the plotter. Why aren't you using the plotter? And then I start using it for a couple of windows. You're using a plotter now? Good God. That little, thank you. I want to get to this windshield. I did tell them by like 4 o'clock. 3:30, 4 o'clock. We're doing great on time. There's just certain things right now that are like too many little hiccups. Good news is the software update is on point, works well. and hasn't caused one single issue. All the issues are my own. So this is easier to do this on this side. We got to figure out how to tint around a baby seat. So 2 questions there. Yes, you are etching the film side. You're cutting through the film side and trying to not cut the liner side. That's why plotters are so touchy. So vinyl, you have a nice hefty paper backing, and the vinyl is soft. Tint, you gotta cut through just the tint portion and not the liner. So it's real easy for something to mess up. And then cut through everything or nothing. But once you got it dialed in, then you should be good to go, as long as it doesn't cut on the strip. You tell it to always do the right things, and you always make sure that it doesn't mess up. And you're good for like a long time. Getting there is the fun part. And then I forgot the second question. Light interior and kids back here make for a pretty messy interior. Sweet, that all lined up super nice. So what are we gonna do about this one? Oh, that's not even strapped in here. What the heck? Well, that just got way easy. Thank you. What is this? There we go. Oh, wait. Headrest. Oh, it does it on. Well, I'll be damned. Did you see that? Did you see that? The thing just flipped out. I was like, wait, it's gonna, nope. Saved itself. Oh, I'm gonna have to get more water too for this windshield. I've probably got enough to do this back. All right, we're fine. So this here, I want to just see how it's going off track a little bit. So when your roll is a little bit off center, like your roll can do like a little Chinese yo-yo thing. So it doesn't always fix itself. Sometimes you tap it on the ground and get it to straighten out ahead of time. But you can see even down here, it doesn't always line up perfectly. So the problem with this plotter in particular is the roller dimensions are a little screwy. So you have to do like a half roller for both of them. A little bit more. So it's kind of falling off of this roller and kind of falling off of this roller. It's actually not so bad on the 24. The 36 is where it is really apparent. So if you're cutting a bunch of windows, you want to make sure that is as dead straight as you can, or else it's going to start to go off track. And then you have to just take a minute and line it back up. So we're going to throw this guy in here. And then should be, can we click cut? I'm scared. Okay, it's working. And then another problem that we ran into is catch baskets are funny too. Look, even with that. See how much it went over this way? Watch. Pay attention. Good, good, good. Not good, not good, not good, not good, not good. So if I now send another quarter window right through this, it's gonna go off track. I tried to straighten that out as much as I could. Oh God, we forgot it again. I wanna adjust that to right at the very end. Keep those things in mind. Where's my windows? Change your end feed length. You just missed it. I wanted to. Probably about 4.5. 4.5 to 5 would line up like perfectly. Adjust your rollers a little bit. I can't do it much more than it is. I can show you with a 36. 36 you can only have half, because if you're using a Graphtec or a Roland, it's a non-issue. They've got a really wide roller on the far right side of each of those plotters. On this one, they just have dinky little rollers all spaced out because it's not made for tint, it's made for vinyl. So we had one snag here. I just couldn't believe it. Like, I'm trying to line up a roller, and I'm like, this doesn't line up anywhere on the machine. And they're like, yeah, it's not great with 36s. I'm like, what do you mean it's not great with 36s? Oh, I'm sorry, it's just not great with what 80% of the fucking industry uses. We're working on it. Oh, okay. Then everybody asks me about budget plotters. They work, but there are lots of little quirks with all of these machines, even the expensive ones. So when everything's working, you will be a very happy camper and everything will be going great. When things stop working, it can be frustrating, very, very frustrating. Because, look at this. We get through this point, film, cut, weeded, couple little snags, got to this point, throw it up on the glass, shrink it and install it, and then if it doesn't line up at that point, I wasted all that film and time. Cancel my Workhorse t-shirt. Oh, don't worry, they came out with the Workhorse 2 though, and that's supposed to fix everything. Fucking A, man, it's window film all over again. It was really funny though. I think it's fixed now. But they came out with the Workhorse 2, and I heard, sorry, I'm gonna say this publicly because they drove me a little crazy. They sent me the Workhorse 1, and then I heard nonstop about the Workhorse 2, and I'm like, but I have the Workhorse 1, not the Workhorse 2. They're like, yeah, but the Workhorse 2 is great. It's like, okay, I don't have it. I don't care. I'm more salty that I don't have it. But then it turns out that there were some software issues right in the beginning. So patterns weren't working at all with it. So it was a good thing I didn't have it. People wonder why I'm a little salty towards plotters. They just came out with the Eco Cut plotter. Oh, great. You need an extension cord reel? I can't tell you how many extension cords I've bought for this place that I find other uses for, and then all of a sudden I don't have that extension cord in that spot anymore. I think it's sitting on the other side of the wall. I have an extension cord for here and an extension cord for there. But I should put reels up too, or something like it. I just didn't know where to put them, so I haven't put them anywhere. How annoying is that? I go for like a year with no extension cord reels because I'd rather try and drag cords around than commit to a spot where I might have to change it again. Because I can't put them on the ceiling. I've got a diffuser that gets in the way, so I've got to put them on the wall somewhere. I just haven't, like, I don't know where to put them. I'm mobile, damn it! I'm really a mobile tinner disguised as an in-house tinner. See, I still use the car as a peel board. I'm a spoiled mobile tinner, though, because I only tint indoors. Oh, God. Isn't it a nice thing that we got this baby seat out of the way? I wasn't sure what I was going to do about that. Okay, just get a little bit on the glass, please. And now I can pull this side. How's the GoPro been? Has it been more stable? Has it been less jarring? Has it been the same and nobody notices? Probably. Hooray! Have I been looking at limo all day too long? I think so. Oh, we should take these off too. These don't need to be here anymore. So, just when I was looking at a plotter, now I don't know what to get. Okay, so that's 5 and 20 over factory right now. So that should be, in theory, basically 5% all the way through. Something's wrong. Why is that different? Shut up. What is this? What am I cutting into? No, that's 20. That's right. Let me close this. Dun dun dun. So as far as I don't know what plotter to get. I don't know what to tell you. Oh no, it is so. Oh, it does one of those stupid things. God, I hate factory tint. The quarter windows are slightly darker. God damn it. I hate when they do that. I had the same thing on my Explorer. The quarter windows were slightly darker, weren't they? Where's this? Oh no, don't tell me we did 5. What did we cut? That roll never saw the light of day, right? Sorry, I'm losing my mind here. Everything should be fine. Is that the same? I can't throw a meter over the back. Why does that seem light? Blame it on the plotter. I do. I fully do. So we just pulled a 20 Pro Nano off of it, which, what did we tint? We tinted these and that, and we only did the ceramic. Yeah, that wouldn't make sense any other way. Why does it seem... No, I'm losing my mind. Those are the same. It's lighting. But we did the quarter windows and stuff separately. So that's why I was losing my mind. Because we only ever touched this roll. Unless we grabbed... Yeah, we used the same roll. We never switched it off. Right? Because what we did was we took... I was thinking for a second that we might have used a 36. But no, we didn't. We used the 36-inch limo just for the front. We did that sideways, and then we did the rest of it. I don't know for sure outside. Yeah, it's the same. It's all the same off of that one thing. There's just so many like little mistakes there. It's been a minute. So we're gonna be doing 35 on the windshield. I got the footage to prove it. That would have been a headache and a half to like redo the whole thing. Because I've just been staring at it. I've been staring at it too long. Okay, so as far as plotters go, like what should you pick? I don't know. Maybe they'll send me the eco plotter and I can compare them like that, because a $600 difference is significant on a machine like that. But if you're talking about like the Workhorse 1 versus the Workhorse 2, like 16, it's like 16 or 17 versus like 2, that's not as big of a thing because it's like you're already paying that much for it. What's a couple $100 more to just get into that one? It's like, just get the better one. But if you're trying to debate on like 1,000 to like 2,000, that's definitely pretty significant there. But tell you, off of this one, I don't know. I'd have to try the other one. This plotter feels good enough, but cheap enough, if that makes sense. If it felt any more cheap than this one, kind of scared me a little bit. I don't know, maybe they use a lot more plastic. Probably bad motor. So what's good enough for tint, or vinyl, is not necessarily good enough for tint. But they're getting better. The main thing is get one that's wide. Don't just do doors. Because you want something that's wider so you can accommodate a 36 or a 40-inch roll. That's going to be the biggest value there. But I guess a $1,000 plotter might be a decent title. It's hard to say. What's the price on that? Oh, it's a $650 tint job. Is a Lowe's tape waterproof? Yes and no. I mentioned it earlier, but it's house wrap tape. So the adhesive that it has is like it's thin, it's plastic, and it stands up to most spray while you're spraying it. If it doesn't have a good bond to whatever you're putting it on, it's gonna loosen up and fall off. But water can still seep in between there, so don't leave it sitting on the door panel forever. Use it, leave it, tint the window, and then take it off. And then see, everything's nice on here. But we're still learning about it. Somebody had a bad time on an older vehicle not too long ago. Somebody else reported that suede material got ripped off a door panel from it. So like most plastic stuff is totally fine. Some of the more sensitive, exotic materials, maybe just wipe those off. Cover them with a lighter plastic or something. Or try and stick the tape on like your pants or something so it's not as aggressive. I don't know. It's not a perfect solution. My tint technician wants to know why you wear ripped jeans. Because that's the cool thing, isn't it? No, it's because I'm trying to generate more super chats. Look, I can't pay for good pants. So donate more. What a question. It's spreading butter in a pan. That's right. Oh yeah, this is Pro Nano. That's the better response. Not ripped, distressed. Yeah, because I'm also distressed. So, Pro Nano, it shrinks very well. I regularly forget that I'm installing it. As far as shrinking, it just goes well. How much should a five-year technician make hourly? Oh, that's. I mean, I think you should easily be in the 60+ K category a year. But there's so many variables with all that. Because here's the thing. The tinter does all the work, and then the job's just, and the sales guy just has to stand on the counter and sell and just talk to people that walk in the door. No, I'm kidding. It's a little bit more than that. I don't have a good answer for you on how much they should get paid, but I do know that there doesn't matter how long you've been tinting for. Like, that doesn't matter as much. Like, the efficiency and quality of your work play into it, but where you're tinting and who you're tinting for will greatly make that, like, just being honest here, a lot of tint shops, they can only pay so much. And sometimes it makes more sense to go on your own, contract for a handful of companies, or just go on your own entirely. Because you can make 75%, potentially more, per ticket tinting for non-associated businesses. So for example, the glass shop that I was tinting for, they kept 25%, I kept 75%. This is a big one. Just long or wide. But a tint shop can't afford to pay a tinter 75% of the ticket and cover all their expenses. So Don't fall. No, just a little more. Just a little more. There we go. I just didn't have a good angle on it. It's so stubby. You need some grip on that thing. So I always found the best pay promotions are going to different companies. You don't ask the one that you're tinting for a raise. I mean, you do, but you've been tinting for them for X amount of time. Sorry, I was listening to the comment too. But the best, like, if you go from one company to another company, I mean, obviously you got to shop around there a little bit because not everybody's going to be able to pay you 30, 40, 50% more than what you were making before. But when you're tinting for a place and then you want to renegotiate your salary, chances are they're not going to pay you 30, 40% more from one year to the next. Should compete in the IWFC. I did one year. It's it's a competition with a lot of good people. So it's not so much about the time. It's about those nitpicky quality of work things. Time can play into it a little bit, but it's more about quality. And when you're there, it all sounds easy until you're there. I'd love to see lessons learned on the workhorse. Yeah, I want to make that video. It's good enough. It's missing quite a few special things.
Ken Glass super chatted
Super chat.
$4.99. Tint in my crocs
Cannon.
for years. Here's a little for your shoes.
Hey. Ken with the 5. Welcome back. Tint in my Crocs for years. Here's a little for your shoes. These are new. Oh, no, I've had these for about, I don't know, 8 months. I forgot when I got them. These are the best. I love these shoes. I'll wear them out, but like they're Skechers. They have no laces. They're super lightweight and super comfy. We bought too many pairs of shoes from there. They're like the new old man shoe. They're entirely practical. They look a little bit better than a straight up old man shoe, but they definitely are like that comfort over style. There we go. Cool. That's always nice when that happens. How many cars do you do a day while you live stream? Oh, I only do a couple in a day while I live stream. Lexan, nanocarbon, and ceramics. Most of the ones they've been hazy. There was a Pure Max one people were telling me to look at that I still haven't. Not for any reason in particular other than I get told to look at lots of films. And, you know, it's hard to show some of the differences on camera. Like color, unless it's really pronounced, is hard to show on camera. Haze, it's hard to show on camera unless it's really, really pronounced. And so a lot of them have been like, the ones that I've shown have had really pronounced differences. What I'm assuming with the Pure Max is that it's going to be even harder to tell the difference between the two, which is a good thing if you're buying it. But my stance is always, you kind of get what you pay for, or at least that's been the norm for a very long time. So unless you put it on your cars and try it for a number of years, you don't really know if it's going to last. And then even that, you don't know unless you're trying to order from them directly. So I've heard, you know, inventory issues and customer support issues, but, you know, I don't know to what scale those are. I've just know what I've messed around with, so. I'm not trying to be a super budget-oriented shop, so I've had enough stuff on my plate lately. So you'll probably be okay with it, but there's better options out there. If you want to tell me that a $500 film and a $200 film are identical, then I'm sorry, they're definitely not. Those reasons are getting smaller and smaller for some of them. So okay, can we tuck this all the way in here? Yes. This dash. Eek. This is nice and soft here. See? What could be better for covering up fabrics than an actual fabric protector? Oh, there's a super.
Daniel Rayner super chatted $9.99. My tint technician Annabelle sends you salutations. We're both watching the master at work in his craft.
I like that. That's better. Daniel Rayner. That was the super chat? Ah! Hang on, sorry. There's like a delay in the time it was read back to me. Daniel Reyna, thank you for the 10. My technician Annabelle sends you salutations. We're both watching the master work his craft. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. I hope you both are doing well. I was laughing. There's somebody that said they almost lost a soak shield in a dash. That's happened to me like once. I actually ripped a soak shield out of a dash once. It broke. But just on the end, like the knot got stuck in a place. It wasn't coming out, and I pulled on it until it literally just snapped. I was surprised that, like, so they tie them all on the ends, and I ripped the knot clean off of it. Spec sheets on Solar FX versus Geo are basically identical. It might tell you a little bit about, like, similar sources there. Yeah, Guari products. So you can see why, like, people that pay that close attention deserve to hear some of this. There's always, like, this mystery, like, oh, who makes this film? Who makes this one? Who makes that one? There's quite a few of them now that are all coming from the same place. So there's like a bunch of film brands and a handful of manufacturers. So a lot of them are coming from Gwari, and Gwari is like a really good film manufacturer. So brands like that, Expel, Global, Solar FX. I mean, they might have some films that don't all come there, but some of them do. So they're all gonna be different a little bit. And what I mean by that is like, nobody can order the same SKU. Oh God, it did it. Yep, forgot about that. Hey, whoever's gonna win the tint keg, I'm gonna switch out my filler so you get sprayed when you open it. So every film from Gwari is gonna be a little different, but there's gonna be a lot of similarities too between like materials. Canon. All right, I'll be right back. I gotta fill this up. I'll put it over there. I'll try and come by in the morning. Oh, okay, I'll be here. Oh, hey, it's Rick, good. You know, I had somebody else that watched the channel show up in the morning and I wasn't here. I wasn't coming in today and I was like, oh dang. Sorry about that. Yeah, I don't know what was up with the O-ring on it. It looks fine. It just keeps popping out. So I have to loosen it up, recenter it, put it back in, and then it's still like it'll still pop out. It got smushed or something. GoPro. Squeegees company. No, it's a manufacturer out of India. Yes, I will be here at 10 a.m. tomorrow, so that does work. Canon. I showed this a little earlier. I don't know if you saw this. So I got a new lens to help with the bobbling. Watch this. This is really fun for me. Watch. So if I turn this, isn't that crazy? Like it just stays. I can literally like flip upside down and it'll stay level. That's wild. It's fun. They finally put out my software update to enable it. Yeah, Geo's a little warm. I think it's a little too warm. Sometimes. Like in a couple of the shades, I think. Oh, I'm so dumb. It's snowing. Alright, hang on, let me fix this. I talked about it and then I let it do the thing. That's kind of a problem. Unless I... Okay, so we can do a quick fix, which then will have the same problem, but it should be contained. And then we'll do the real fix later on. It's snowing over here. Let's put that on there. And then hopefully what that's gonna do is that's just gonna leave it as is. Yes, that works. Does your head hurt with all that gear on it? No. No, it really doesn't. You get used to it. You kind of just feel tired. So at the end of like a full stream, if there's a lot of like jumping in and out of a vehicle, like with the Model 3, it's just kind of harder. It's just kind of harder to like get certain places with all this crap on your head. But it's not terrible. So, neat. We'll fix it in the morning. Sounds good. Alright, so whenever this is done. See, this is why I opt for lower. Because I don't really... There we go. I'll usually let it go up to like 80, but when I kind of just want to do something like now, I'll just take it off and run with like 50 or 60, which is plenty good enough. All right, towel. So we got most of this covered up. We're gonna throw a towel over the main stuff. I would try and stuff a towel down here, but it's gonna screw with the install. I'm not even gonna mess with it. I've had too many vehicles lately that I've messed up trying to shove towels into spots that I'm just kind of over some of it. So we'll just leave things where they are. Is that a leather dash? It's a fake leather dash. Probably. I don't know. It's nothing that I'm worried about getting hurt. If I was, I probably wouldn't even do the windshield then. On some level. Where are all my side swipes? Side swipe. Seriously, where did I put them? I have like 5 of them, and I lost all of them. How's GME doing? 242. Oh, dang, we still up 6% today. Look at that, it's actually doing stuff again. Seriously. How do I lose side swipes? That's a tool that is a little bit beyond me. I don't know how I keep losing those, but I do. I like set them down, and then I think I just wrap them in towels or something. Oh, okay, here's one. Oh, look at that. The air pump sounds like a propeller airplane. It's not a super fancy one. It was, I got it. Oh yeah, I don't have 2 hoses anymore. One's under, oh it is! Thank you. You guys got that super view. I got tunnel vision. So, ew, there's like a little bit on here. Shortcut versus side swipe. The side swipe's better. Shortcut you'll use like twice, and it's really helpful for those 2 little situations. The side swipe you'll use for so many more things. on back windows. It just works better. So you guys gotta tell me, on this windshield, now with the fun little GoPro feature where I can tilt my head and it's all straight, well, I guess I'll know. Is it an improvement or not? Is it worth stocking 20-inch rolls at all? Yeah, for sure. Sometimes I don't, for inventory. Like, it just keeps a lighter inventory. It's less things I have to manage. But it's 100% worth stocking. Jesus Christ. Oh, it's out of the back, right? No, I still got stuff back here. Okay. I thought so. At least we found that quick enough. You guys want to know what wastes the most time? Redoing windows and not keeping track of your stuff. You'll burn so much time off of trying to find your own tools. It's not even funny. Things will be going well, and then you'll have a phone call that distracts you, or you'll misplace something, and then you're just walking around aimlessly 50 times. Keep your stuff on hand, know where replacements are, and that's advice for myself. Also keep spares. But try not to treat your spares like I do. I treat my spares as main squeegees. Oh wait, so if you're gonna swing by tomorrow, maybe we can... I should have a list of some stuff that I want. Okay. I'm gonna do this one more time. Is it? The most annoying thing about trying to set up angles with a GoPro is that it's on your head and you can't monitor it while you're looking at a windshield. How much for just a windshield in ceramic? $250. Okay, there we go. Bad time for a phone call. Hopefully it's not this customer. Oh, it is. Hang on. Hello, Tint Studio. How can I help you?
Yes, hi. I passed our car this morning, the blue Navi.
Yep.
Is it ready or it's gonna be ready in half an hour?
It'll actually, yeah, should be ready in about 30 minutes. I'm installing the windshield right now.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, thank you.
Yep, no problem. Bye. Wow. If they called like any later, I would have completely ignored the phone call. I feel like 35 is going to be a little dark for them, but they wanted it. Fucking hell. That's not fun. probably rather you stop talking and finish the car. Yeah. Yeah, some people have other plans with vehicles. So what's tough about this whole thing? Because I actually have to do like retail in order to like keep streaming. There's no like special client base that I can get, at least right now, that's just strictly for tinting on stream. No fun. So you have people like trying a lead like the Tint Mob company. They called me and they set up like a local website. So I'm getting some phone calls from that too. This is actually a job from that. But I don't like the disconnect there. I like people to, you know, it happens enough, but I like people to at least find the channel. But I don't know. Hang on one second. Canon. What the heck? Oh. My messenger is blowing up. It's Rick Haas and I don't know who else. But it's just like I keep getting notification right now after notification. I was trying to just like stay focused. It's a bing, 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 bing. This is why I like two hoses. Put one on one side, one on the other. Do I need this? Yes, I do, actually. All right, so let's roll this up. Let's try and get this installed. Oh yeah, it's only 3. I thought it was like 3:30 right now. Going on 4. I told them like 3:30. Alright, so if we can get past the first part of the dash, this will be a little bit easier. This window looks like light blue, like a light bluey purple. Kind of matches the paint. Geo, some of their darker films, like I think Pro Classic is pretty good. Oh no. Oh no, that's not a good message. Sorry, I'll get to that in a sec. Geo is definitely a little on the warmer side. Their apex is about as like gray as I've seen. And like, you know what's funny though? So that's what I thought I wanted. And we put it on the Blazer and drove around the Blazer for a little bit. And I thought the Geo, the warmness of the Geo was like a little much. But when you talk about like wintertime, we've been driving around with Pro Classic for so long that like, I don't know, we've warmed up to it a lot. Oh, I should have pulled this a little farther out before I did that. I hope I didn't just screw it up. It was like starting to get the roll of the reverse roll is just a little bit too wide to unroll while it's pressed up against that bottom part. I thought it would kind of just sneak through it. I should have had a little bit more pulled. I'm in an awkward situation. There we go. glad that I have this on the top. See, the more that your film has to fight against, the harder this reverse roll dealie is. No, it's got enough slip. This film just tacks up quick too. So you can add a lot of soap and still have it tack up a fair amount. But the real problem was that reverse roll was pressed up against where this dash almost touches the windshield because it's just so tall. So we gotta sneak this film under there. Pro Nano is like super glue. I know it. Really threw me off initially. So it's not all sunshine and rainbows, and I just don't talk about it all the time because I talked about it a lot when I first was installing it. That's why I use some extra soap. So like you might be used to, like if you've ever used Lumar or Suntac or Sigma Pro, those films all slide really good. But like I kind of got a little bit more used to it when I switched to NR. I don't know why Avery does this, but like Avery has NR and then NR Pro. And for whatever reason, NR Pro slides nice, but they tack up the glue a lot more on NR. And they're like, they couldn't give me a straight answer. They're just like, that's just how it is. I can tell you there's a difference, but we can't tell you why. That's just how they designed it. And it's like, okay. Weird. So then when I switched to Geo, it was still the same like hefty tack, but there's so many films now that'll have this similar type of tack here because, you know, companies like Solar FX, this is what Global essentially is. As far as like adhesive systems, like they're all gonna have basically the same adhesive, which is solid, but it just can stick. And that's where you can work yourself into issues. Have you ever wet the BCM? No, never. I never did that. That's crazy. Who would wet a BCM? I'll tell you how I found out where the RAM BCM was, though. Maybe it got wet. Maybe. Just maybe. That's crazy. Why would that happen? So I'm going back and forth between it sliding and then it's tacking. What car was it? It was a, oh yeah, the Ram. That's how I first learned where it was exactly. I heard some horror stories on it, and then there were people that were saying, you know, I covered it with a rope and a towel, and somehow the car's still going off. I don't know what happened. Well, as far as I can tell, water was getting through the speaker grills and going down the same channel. So just keep everything covered. And then I would do a little extra once I found out where it was, because it's so easy to get to. Just throw a towel over the BCM wires, and I haven't, knock on wood, had any issues with it. See, look at that. Doesn't that look like a little purpley? They got something going on with this windshield already. Makes sense that it would be in like a top tier Lincoln though. That's like a very Mercedes type thing to do. Lincoln's trying to compete with all of them. So now the last scary part is going to be pulling this out. Without creasing it. So we can do that. We'll crush it. Oh, that's long. Oh, I don't like that. I don't like that one bit. Who said give away the soak shield? Oh, I am right there with you on that one, bud. That one's not fun. You can try and take a tool and like give yourself a little bit of space with it, but no matter how you cut it, all that area here in this dash, you got like this much space to play with. Not fun. I've pulled windshields off of way worse, or way easier ones than that. That one, whew. I don't like the rope for that reason. But I think we got it. Let me spray this off. Go over it, because we probably have a couple little things to touch up. Good, that's soap. Wow. There's definitely like a cool mirrored effect with this windshield. I could tell them that it's the ceramic, but it's not. It matches the paint. It's got like the same iridescent blue. Oh, this is the hose that doesn't work. What time is it? 3:20. Okay. So we probably got enough to just wrap this up. And then they might be walking in the door, going like, "Where's my car?" They showed up an hour late though. It's gonna be dark. That's what they wanted. They wanted 35 and 5. Woo! Look at that. Look at that color. That looks nice. Somebody go to Lincoln's website and tell me what's on the black label windshield. Tell me if they actually advertise whatever that is. I like the color. The color is super cool. With this vehicle in particular, like the blue and the blue, I'd imagine they all kind of look blue. I don't think they color match the windshield, but I'll try and see what it says on the stamp. Looks nice though. Definitely got that Mercedes iridescence to it. Just a little bit more blue than purple. Looks really, really cool. I think they'll like it. Not this film. Whatever, this is just, my film had nothing to do but enhance the look because now it's a little darker. You think it's better to have a tint business or detailing business? Well, I like tinting, and I tried detailing, but detailing is a lot of hard work. I think it's easier to potentially scale, though. You have the same types of problems, though. Like, you know, who can't clean their car? So, there's lots of people getting into detailing now, and I'd say there's still probably less, but a lot of people getting into tinting. Detailing is going to be the easier one to get into, but I can't say how hard it is to actually grow an upscale detailing business. I have no idea on, because I've never gone through it all. But long term, it's easier to hire, I think, and teach people how to get into your detailing business and like help it grow than it is on the tinting side of things. Tinting's very hard to scale. Woo. We did it, boys. That looks good. Turned out real nice. So let's clean this up. Let's do any touch-ups that we have. How did you get your name / clients when you first started? I had that question too when I first started. Like, what's the best way to start doing all that? Be as discoverable as you can. So when people go on search and look for a shop, you're the one that pops up. But there's other people that are doing the same thing. So the more searchable your business is, the more avenues that you're focused on, the better. So when I was at my, God, kids just destroyed this. When I was at my home garage, I was listed on Google Maps. People found me that way. But I think I missed out on a lot of calls because people could see I was a home business. As soon as I got into a physical space that looked like a shop, then I started getting more natural phone calls, but I still deal with lots of people that are just calling about price. I think we've had about two of them during this stream. So I'm still going through like a slowdown right now. I'm not immune to it, but something that's really helped has been the channel, but it doesn't like there's still lots of people, the first thing that they do for tint is they just Google window tint, or they go off of a friend recommendation. So the word of mouth, it all just takes time to build. So no matter how you cut it, it's all going to take time to build. Some people just kind of have an in with friends, though, friends and family, and then they can scale pretty quickly. That was never me, unfortunately. So some people naturally just have it a little easier, and you ask, and they're just like, I don't know, I just start tinting. But there's enough competition around here where you gotta be a little bit, you gotta work a little harder. Prices are a little better here, I think, in general, but oh. Okay. There's not pretty pictures for this, so like 2R? Oh, that's the front one. Third row. Will it bring it back up? No, it won't bring it back up. So this one, we're gonna put back to where it was, which was not strapped in, and it was just sitting over here. Put this back up. What button do I gotta push to get this thing back up? That one. Cool. What's your goal? How far do you want to go? Nah, I don't. It's a good question. I want to go as far as I can, but as far as like just the tint business side of it, I don't want it to be anything overwhelming. I really don't. There's like the obvious side of it, which is, you know, getting more clients and growing the whole tint business side of it. One thing that kept me from even starting was I didn't want a tint business. Because what I really like to do is the streaming side of it and being creative. So just the daily grind of tinting cars, it's not really that exciting, but it would be the case with just about anything that I do. You know, so like any job can get tedious. It's the same thing day in, day out. You gotta make it fun or creative, or, you know, when you own the business, then that's where a lot of creativity can come from, because it's your business. So you can run it any way that you want to. So I don't really know quite what I want to do with this, but getting it to this point was hard enough, so I'm just having fun where it's at right now. Just being able to have a place that I can come into and stream, play around with some fun tech, and I don't know, figure out other things to do with it. I mean, that's been super fun. So at the end of the day, I always like to put out good work, so this helps facilitate all of that. So I don't know. I don't know exactly what I want to do with it, but I'm having fun. Because, like, what I traditionally thought was if I start a tint business, I have to be here from like 9 to 5. But when I started my tint business from home, I mean, I basically was there 9 to 5, but I wasn't taking walk-in appointments. So kind of what I learned was through that and mobile was you don't need to be anywhere 24/7. But you need to be there when the appointments come in. So this place isn't super walk-in friendly, so I don't have people just walking in the door asking for tint. So that part of it's nice because I can just kind of focus on this and then hang out with you guys, not have to run back up front, answer questions, and then try and jump back on stream and run that whole circus. Just kind of take it at my own pace. But bills need to get paid. So I do know if I didn't have the channel, I would be focused on keeping this place much busier and then just not focus on the media side of it at all. And then this would just be a regular tint shop. But I didn't want to ever do that. So it took a lot of time to kind of figure all that out. I'm a little slow with it. But it's been able to grow into something I think that's pretty damn cool. So we've been going out of here for about a year now. So from what I've seen, from what I've seen, you know, when you get in your like 3rd, 4th year, you'll still have slowdowns, but you'll have a lot more consistent business at that point. You know, every year gets a little better. And it just depends on, you know, how much advertising and whatnot that you can do to generate business. Creativity is a big part of it. Creativity or sheer dollars. How much does YouTube pay? It's up and down. I can discuss ad revenue. So, well, I guess that's like combined with super chats. I don't mind saying that. So like, YouTube's all about views. So the more views that you have, the more money that you make. Subscribers don't matter. Subscribers help put your videos out to more people, and you have a better chance of your video getting shown to more people. But you can have a very big channel with very little views. So these live streams have very few views in comparison to the videos that really bring in money. So like super chats are nice support, and I appreciate every one of them. So combined in a month, I don't know, like last month was, I think like 3,300. Now, if you do some videos that like really pop off, then like that's great. That'll just give you a giant boost. But the thing is, nobody, unless you got something really good going, you don't really know what to make every month. You kind of figure out what hits well, and then you just try and double down on those things. But with Tint, like, I mean, come on, Walmart's only getting ceramic every so often here. Right? Like, just because I put out a Walmart ceramic video, it doesn't mean I can put out another random marketplace ceramic video and then it'll do just as well. Like, once you kind of see the thing, it's tough. So I stopped trying to chase views a while ago, but I still have fun from time to time trying to do all that. But we had like a kick-ass month not too long ago when I put out the Walmart video. So like those two videos together for the month, the channel generated like 800, no, just shy of 1 million views for the month. And that's what really does it. That was what, like 8,500 for the month? So that was like, damn, that was a good month. But it's all a guessing game. I've put out many videos and thought long and hard about a lot of it. And things haven't worked out that well. So it's up and down. As soon as you have those videos kind of get shown to everybody and the channel settles back down, you kind of have this like point where it kind of just sits at. Look at that. That is dark. Oh, I gotta put tape over the switches. They got kids. I gotta lock this and put tape over the switches. They're gonna be, first thing they're gonna do is try and push the switch button. You'll be so happy when you get that play button. That's true, I will be. I'll be happy and annoyed at the same time because 100,000 subs is like I said, it's cool. I'll be very happy, like, yay, I got my YouTube recognition, finally. But it doesn't mean that the channel's any better than it was this month. That is always up to the creative side of it. It's always a lot of thought and work, and you kind of cross your fingers and hope things work out well. Okay. So, I think we wiped off our windows enough here. Nice. What is that? So where's our key? It's not in it, is it? Did we put it down? Ah, shit. We lost the key. Oh, no, it's right here. Okay. So we're gonna get this pulled out. Woo! When's the next video? I think we'll be live tomorrow because we're gonna be doing the keg giveaway. I don't think I have an appointment planned for tomorrow though. So stay tuned. I gotta leave my headphone in here. So I'm not gonna be able to hear you guys. But I'll take you outside. I don't really do that very often. Actually, really ever. So, how do we do this first? These are super weird. So you got like the little buttons. That's a Lincoln thing that I am not endorsing. Stop doing that, Lincoln. It's funky. So my mic might cut out. Not quite sure about that one. But my headset should still be good. Ooh, dang. Look at that. I suppose I should face it normal. Reverse. Do that stair there. There. Walk around it really quick. Yeah, like I said, I can't hear you guys because my headphones aren't going to reach. But. Dang. This is at least what it looks like out. Pretty low key. So, you're not really just going to walk in unless you know what's here. Or unless you're just one of those people. Ooh, look at that. You can see the seats a little bit. Still hard to see under that blue. Cool. Looks good. I'm going back inside. It's cold. It is very cold today. What's the temperature? No, that's not how we do that. Sunset's in about an hour. 37 degrees. That's dumb cold. Oh, my door's open. That's even worse. See, I like it's quiet back here. I like that a lot. It's just so quiet. Whew. I like scratched myself on something. I don't even know. All right, I gotta find my headphone really quick. Where did I put that? I put that there. Canon. Okay, well that's that. Looks like everything's still connected, so that's cool. I have to call them And we can shout out some super chats too. I forgot to grab a picture of it though. Keys are always those things. I almost tripped on that. Keys are always one of those things that I set down and then I'm like, I hope I know where those are. Okay, so hi, this is Matt from Tint Studio. Your Lincoln's all set. We close by 5. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure I have a way to send you the invoice. Let me just check and give you a call back. I might have to take a credit card over the phone though. I could do that. Okay, sounds good. Bye. Oh, now they're busy. You don't have an insulated garage door, do you? No, I haven't wanted to put a bunch of insulation on it yet. I probably should. It actually stays pretty good in here, though. So the heater is running. I don't know how much it would help if we changed that garage door, though. It's a summertime. You can feel a lot of heat coming off of it, though. So it could be sealed up a little better and insulated. Everything else is pretty good about this place, though. What's your Christmas wish list? More streaming stuff? I don't know. I don't have anything in particular. Let's see. We should probably shout out some super chats today. I kind of want to hop off stream here too. I didn't think we were doing the full windshield. I kind of thought we were doing the rest of it without the windshield. So I had kind of a small plan with the windshield, but I don't know. It's been a day. All right. So big shout outs to Daniel, Ken, Jose, and Daniel for all the supers today. Much appreciated. What is it? I know I've got some other stuff that I should probably do. You should make an Amazon registry and see how many things people buy you. Not a bad idea, actually. Actually, that's a really good idea. Instead of super chats, people can like group put money towards stuff too. That's a good idea. I like it. Yeah, because I don't have anything off the top of my head, but like, for instance, something will just like pop up and then I'll just go buy it. So that's a big part of, like, if I think it's really going to be helpful. So that's like the lens mod. This was an extra like $100. So like this setup is kind of ridiculous. So like the transmitter's like $650, the battery that was only like 20. Then you have like 15, 20 bucks in cables. That's not bad. Another like 30 bucks in batteries plus the charger. And then the GoPro 10, that was a little bit more expensive. I think that was like $550. $450 or $550. The Rode mic, that's a couple $100. Then the lens mod is $100. Then the media mod to put it in, that's like another $100 basically, $80 to $100. So yeah, like just in this, there's a fair amount. So I always like come up with random stuff on the fly that's like, oh, that would be really helpful for the stream. I actually do want to get, there are a couple things. I'm looking at TVs right now. One of them's for the showroom. And then I'd like to put something back here, like a third monitor. So that's a good idea. I'll probably get a small registry together that I can put up if people want to do that way. Because I just kind of like, okay, I'm going to get it. But, so if you're going to like super chat and you want it to go pretty much like all to something specific, that'll definitely help out the stream. That's where that would be super, super cool. What do I gotta do? Oh yeah, I gotta type them up on this one. All right, I'm gonna hop off stream. I gotta type this one up. I gotta get it all ready, and I gotta see if I can send them a way to pay for it, because now they gotta drop the kids off somewhere. So I told them it would take till like 3:30, 4 o'clock, and they didn't. I don't know what they were thinking, but now it's like, I'm gonna try and get there by that time, and it's like, uh-oh. I get it. Okay, so I'm gonna hop off. You guys have a good one, and I'll see you tomorrow. We will do the giveaway. I don't know the time specifically, just like anything. I don't really. Where is it? Let me copy the link though. So if you go to this link though, you can open your gifts on stream. All right, will do. That'll be cool. But so we're gonna be doing a giveaway for this keg tomorrow. If you want to enter to win it, go to that link, click on the keg giveaway, and then check out your cart. It's free to do. 4 p.m. Eastern. That's what they're saying is 4 p.m. Eastern. So I'm gonna try and stick to that time. That makes sense. Also late in the day. But yeah, you guys have a good one. I will see you in the next stream tomorrow. Tomorrow by like 4 o'clock, maybe a little earlier. Who knows? Actually, that's a good idea. Okay. Bye.